If you're not getting it touring, or if you're not getting it through other means, this music shit is a rap. I'm saying all of the musicians are broke. Relatively.
Some viewers may find this disturbing. Viewer discretion is advised.
Hi my loves, it's Destin Choice and you're watching Choice TV. So today's video I wanted to get on here and talk about the politics of songwriting and the fact that a lot of artists aren't eating anymore and a lot of the weird shady tactics that the music industry is doing because artists aren't eating anymore. The money has dried up in the entertainment industry, but more specifically the music industry. But you're probably wondering, dried up for whom though? Who are these musicians? What's interesting is when people think of musicians, they always think about these big faces, but y'all don't think about the other people. The engineers, the songwriters, the people who give melodies, the people who give a hook. Like there's a lot of things that go into a musician, and those are the people that are literally getting phased out first. Recently, Summer Walker has been getting a lot of flack because two of her songwriters came forth and exposed the fact that they're struggling and could barely pay their fucking bills. So this all started because two TikTokers who are also songwriters went on social media to say that they worked with Summer Walker, but they also came forth to say when they worked on Summer Walker's Finally Over It album, they got shorted by the industry. Not because they're malicious, but because they didn't really understand contracts and agreements at the time. Now, what's interesting is sometimes when you're a songwriter or any type of creative or you're working or collaborating with any big brand, whether you're a manager or publicist, the money doesn't always come right away. It all started with singer-songwriter Trevon Waters, who's known for writing for Chris Brown's 11:11 album. He put up a post and he basically said, while he was washing dishes in a restaurant, point of view, you co-wrote for Summer Walker, but you still gotta close tonight. This is the reality of the entertainment industry. Waiters, dishwashers, restaurant workers, bartenders in New York City, this is the kind of stuff that they deal with all the time. They're always in a situation where they're always having to work normal 9-to-5s because the creative field just simply does not pay right away when you need it to. And it's a shame because imagine a song, right? Imagine your album, someone's album getting 90 million streams, but you got to still close tonight. All these artists wouldn't even be who they are without these little itty bitty songwriters. And yet, these songwriters don't even get a reasonable piece of the pie. Then that prompted another one of Summer Walker's songwriters who wrote for the exact same album that did 90 million streams, Makaylee Ion, posted this on her TikTok. Point of view, you're the only female producer on Summer Walker's album, but still can't make rent next month. Black women deserve better. So one of the popular songs on the album called Number One, which is a song by Summer Walker and Brent Faiyaz, Makayla is actually credited on the fucking song. And it's a shame how she's one of the 3 songwriters and yet she can't pay her damn bills. It's a shame. She then captioned the entire post and she stated the following. She stated this: Black queer women and trans at the center of the creative industry, and our ideas are the blueprint. After seeing the other songwriters post, I can't stay quiet about how producers and songwriters, especially women, get underpaid and overlooked in 2026 still. It's so easy to show all the wins, but not a lot of people understand the true ups and downs you experience. Songwriters and producers like myself are taken advantage of and don't understand the music/publishing game until it's too late. I think it's important to speak about this, and I hope more people can use this video to speak up as well. So it's really all a numbers game at the end of the day. So what's interesting is she's using the idea of, yeah, trans, yeah, gay, yeah, black women. I'm not going to sit up here and dismantle anyone's experience because, yes, people do try to fuck you over when you are part of a marginalized group. But let's be honest for a second. This is a numbers game. This is politics. When it comes to politics, the only color in the world that matters is green. And if you have enough of it, almost every door in the world opens up. What's interesting is that she's missing the point because, let's put it this way, I'll let David Banner explain it better.
We consume music at a very high rate, but we pay these tech companies and not the artists. Me, Snoop, Tip, Prince were some of the few people that say streaming is not smart.
Right.
We was getting pennies.
You said that earlier.
Yeah, we was getting pennies, and now you want to get fractions of pennies and go give it to a tech company that don't even like music. Think about it. These are techies. They're not even music people, and we run and go give our music away for free. And what they really doing, watch this, y'all, watch this. Everything that we can do to become a millionaire or a billionaire in a lifetime. They have reduced it to being free. But they really don't want you to be as rich.
Recently, Summer Walker released her studio album, Finally Over It. And guess what? It sold over 100,000 units, but it sold over 77,000 units in its first week. One stream is equal to about a third of a penny. So no matter how much work or how much effort you put into your work, if one person listens to it, you get a third of a penny. What kind of shit is that when you bust your ass? And then how is that supposed to be split? So what's interesting is the people that own publishing are the most powerful people ever. Imagine writing a song, writing the melody and the bridge, and you're only left with about $800. That's literally what it is. You literally help write a song. It gets about 5 million streams. It makes $20,000. Out of that $20,000, you only make about $800 after taxes and after admins get paid. And then you get to find a way to break even and also pay your bills. These artists don't make shit from literally streaming music. They literally make all their money from being on tours. They're always on tour constantly because that's where they make their money. The reason why a lot of them immediately go on tour when they sell an album is because they have to recuperate all those funds. Now, look at someone like Britney Spears, for example. Britney Spears, if you already know, recently sold her publishing in the new year. So in the new year of 2026, literally at the end of 2025, Britney Spears famously sold her publishing recently from what was reported. She allegedly got over $200 million for her publishing, for her hit singles such as Oops, I Did It Again, Hit Me Baby One More Time, Gimme More, Toxic, and a plethora of all her other hit singles.
From the pop world this morning, singer Britney Spears has reportedly sold ownership of her music catalog to Primary Wave for an undisclosed amount of money. Now, Primary Wave is a music and marketing company in New York specializing in these catalog deals. Spears released 9 studio albums from 1999 to 2016. Neither Spears nor Primary Wave have actually confirmed that sale, but Primary Wave owns catalogs from other stars as well, like Whitney Houston, Stevie Nicks, and Prince.
But the reason they sell it is because as time goes on, it just won't be lucrative or worth anything because we're going in an era where now we have AI artists. Behind every artist is 20 people that helped make that artist be a thing. And it makes sense because a lot of these artists are able to eat, but what's so interesting is a lot of these artists sometimes aren't even able to eat in the long haul. The real winners are the people that own the record labels, and the real winners are the people that own the publishing. And what's weird is the people who own the publishing are able to literally eat for the rest of their lives because they encourage these artists to sell their masters, to sell their catalogs. They trap them in these weird contracts, give them a lump sum of money, and when they can't recuperate on sales, you're owned and shelved for life. But nowadays, labels are running out of money and they're running out of capital and they don't want to take any more risk anymore. But we traded convenience for everything. Now, let's be real. We was all illegally downloading music back in the day. Yes, you. You was out here illegally downloading illegal music. You was out here downloading music videos illegally onto CDs. You was putting it onto that iPod. You was putting it onto your phone, drag and dropping files. I saw you. So a lot of us were doing that. And because a lot of us were doing that, it killed the music industry slowly and they got desperate. So now the music industry, you know, for a while, they were gatekeeping stuff about who got to get paid, who got to have this. And now the tech people came in and said, oh, it's okay. We'll save the day. We'll create a format and a formula where, you know, we eat and win forever at this very current period. And, you know, we'll let the labels eat second. The artist can eat third. And the people behind the artist can eat, you know, last in the rest of the scraps. But what's interesting is people don't remember this. There's this interesting, really dark thing that a lot of labels are doing now where, like I said, streams don't even matter. Like if someone gets 20 million streams, 30 million streams, like that's cool and all, but that doesn't matter. That's literally used as analytics to literally justify how much money you should get for a tour or how much money you should get for, you know, a performance or an appearance or how much money you should get for a feature. All those things are stats. It's irrelevant. That money the artist barely sees if they're signed to a label. Most of them don't even see half that fucking money because it just all goes to a bunch of people, taxes, and it just goes away. Real artists and real entertainers who are smart, like these songwriters should be doing, they capitalize. They have podcasts, they have YouTube channels. Some of them have like extensive catalogs, wrote for 100 other people. Some of them have business ventures that, you know, these artists should also be doing as well. And now a lot of labels are doing a lot of really weird and sick shit, where a lot of labels and a lot of people who sign these artists are now doing something on the black market called stream farms. If you've never heard of stream farms, it's this new thing that's been going viral where it's been around for years, but a lot of people have learned how to play the system.
Today's world, everybody's using a streaming phone. Streaming phone, man, there's a bunch of different cell phones that sign up to Spotify. They play your record over and over again. You get streams, you get paid. You know, plain and simple. Being able to use my streaming platforms, man, I was able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars. We were able to chart on Billboard. We were able to chart on Spotify. We were able to chart on Apple Music, Tidal, Shazam. These streaming farms help you start the process, and their tactic is turning into legitimate money. These artists are on these streaming farms. They are on these streaming platforms. Major labels are running these streaming farms. They're running these streaming numbers. They're running these setups. All right? We in a major industry, and that industry is ran by a machine. This shit, the Matrix.
There's a lot of times where they've tried to take on artists, you know, sell artists, promote artists, put artists together, because in the 2016, 2017, 2018 era, we saw many artists come out of nowhere. We saw many artists blow up, and we saw many artists pick up steam. But where did many of these artists go? They went through media training, they went through artist development, and then they eventually disappeared because they couldn't sell records. And many artists have fought for years to try to get rid of streaming and dismantle streaming and try to make it fair. But there's no way that you can beat streaming. It's convenient, it's easy, it's simple. You go on your phone and you stream a song and it benefits you, and you're able to keep track of the algorithm and the sales. It's either that or you allow your music to be streamed for free and you get nothing. So it's kind of like you don't have a choice but to allow your work to be streamed for free. But these artists who are coming in and trying to be songwriters and thinking they're going to be rich and at the Grammys, that doesn't pay in the long haul. Sometimes you see these people at award shows. Sometimes you see people at the Grammys. Sometimes you see people, you know, stand outside doing great things at the red carpets. They're not making much money. You think they're doing great because they're on the red carpets. Meanwhile, they're on their fucking last, and you would never know it. I'll never forget where even someone like Paula J. Parker, we even think sometimes actors doing so phenomenal, but sometimes they aren't. Paula J. Parker, as we all know, played the girl from Friday with the braids. She also played Trudy from the Proud Family, and she also played in several other films that we all know. Yet she came forth and said that she was literally having to file for food stamps because she couldn't afford anything, and she was sleeping in hotels, even though she was a big actress and was playing in the Proud Family. How the fuck was she struggling? I see little stuff like that. All I think to myself is, damn.
I did not know taking a break in Hollywood meant you would have to start all over again from scratch.
Well, your break was like 5 years?
Yeah.
Okay. And at one point you had to get food stamps.
Yeah, I sure did. Me and Regina Hall got food stamps a week before I booked Townsend Television.
These major corporations have really fucked everybody over. And all I can think is this, is the only way a lot of these songwriters and people who are complaining about not getting paid can win is you kind of got to diversify. When you're a creative person, you're kind of on your own. People don't realize that. Like, sometimes people look at the views that I get and they be like, oh my God, Troyce, we know you're rich. Probably want to, you know, sit down and shut the fuck up and not assume anything. Because just because you see a lot of views or a lot of likes under this video, that doesn't mean it translates into dollars. People see this video and they're like, oh my God, over 100,000 views. That's crazy. And they think I just made $100,000 off of this video. I definitely did not, because fun fact about YouTube, YouTube literally takes 45% of everything that I make from every single fucking video. And this isn't just me, this is everyone. YouTube takes 45% of everything I make, right? And they essentially take an amount that I never get to see. So I never even get to see it like on my dashboard of how much I fucking made. So I couldn't even imagine the numbers or the money that I would make if I actually saw that. Then on top of that, keep this in mind. People forget this as well. So the super chats you guys donate me when I go on live and someone sent me like $5 on a super chat, yeah, best believe YouTube takes 50% of that. So instead of making $5 off of a donation, I just made $2.50. And that's why you guys see these content creators be like, here's my Cash App, here's my PayPal, because YouTube takes 45 to 50%. These big corporations want a piece of their pie if they're the reason why you're even on in the first place. So these songwriters will continue to get scraps until they learn how to pivot and navigate, because songwriting doesn't necessarily pay unless you got a huge extensive roster of people that you've written for. And there's a lot of people that haven't even gotten credit for songs that they wrote. And some songwriters are only taking in advance. Some songwriters will literally take like $5K and they'll be like, all right, fine, I'll take my $5K, and they'll keep it moving. And then the song literally blows up and they immediately regret it. Some songwriters are being literally pressured by labels to literally write shit, take a little 25K because they need the fucking money to pay their rent, their car, and their student loans. And then eventually the songwriter eventually regrets it, because guess what? When the song becomes huge and makes billions of dollars, they get close to nothing. I may not be a songwriter, but I understand the creative field. But let me use someone like Vanilla Ice. He's the dude who made that Ice Ice Baby song back in the 80s. He made a lot of money off that song. But as time progressed, as publishing issues came about, and as more conflicts came about, and as he started selling the publishing rights to that song, time and things changed horribly. That song might have made him a lot of money, but what really made Vanilla Ice a lot of money is his investments.
But the exact opposite happened with you. So tell me what business moves you started to make early on that put you in a situation of where you are right now.
Publishing. I bought that and then I had money. And then I was like, you know what? But I had money to buy it, which was a good thing. Because I've always made great investments, which is why I was telling you I've never been bitter about any Suge Knight thing. I've never been bitter. Look at me. What am I bitter about? Money? Really?
The problem with these songwriters that have an issue with the fact that they're not being paid much, they have every right to be upset. But let's stop looking for opportunities and create our own. They want the big corporate white man to pay them more. They want the big corporate white man to take care of them. They want the big corporate white man to increase their wage. But there's other ways to create opportunities for yourself. Start tapping into your network. You'd be very surprised who might do you a favor if you just simply ask. Or you'd be very surprised what you can create on your own. Most of us aren't going to go on iTunes to buy some shit when we can just go on YouTube, screen record it, or just download it for free. So that just is what it is. But that's that for my entire breakdown on the music industry, the shift, the changes, the fuckery that a lot of entertainers are doing in the music industry itself, and the fact that it's probably not going to change anytime soon. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, give your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below. And yeah, that's that. Choice out this bitch. Birds around, fish a birds always hits around, fish a birds a house sings around. Have to put the thought that she's a lonely girl, and it's a lonely world, and she gon' let it burn, baby, burn, baby, burn, baby. This girl is on fire. This girl is on fire. She's walking on fire. This girl is on fire.